Hi, kids. It's Miss Pat, and this week our Sunday school lesson is about love. And we're getting close to Christmas. And as you know, Christmas is all about love and the fact that God loved us all so much that He sent His Son, Jesus, to earth to be born in a manger as a baby and to live His life as an example to us. And that's what we really need to know that Jesus came to earth as a man to show us what it's like to live a life full of love for our brothers and sisters and our neighbors and even people that we don't particularly like. We are to love them. That's what Jesus was here to teach us and to show us, and He set that example for us. So we call Him our way shower and our elder brother because He was the Son of God and He told us that we are all children of God. And so He's our elder brother. And there was a famous priest named St. Francis way back in the 1200s, 800 years ago. And he was a very loving man. He loved everyone. He loved his neighbors. He loved animals, and they loved him. And he wanted to show the people of his town a reenactment of the nativity scene where Jesus was born in the manger, which I'm sure you've all heard that story about the night that Jesus was born and the wise men came to see him there in that manger. And so St. Francis set up a nativity scene, a real live nativity scene. And a lot of us have nativity scenes made out of wood or ceramic or whatever in our homes on display. And we have the baby Jesus and Mary and Joseph. And we have some animals that are around the manger watching baby Jesus sleep. We have the wise men that came from miles away and came to see him, followed the star to find him. So I'm sure you've seen those nativity scenes. And this scene that Francis created was a living nativity scene with the people of his village in Greccio. And so this is what our story is about today. And I'm going to set my page up here where I can read it to you and read you the story called The Christmas Creche, which is the nativity scene. Here it is. Christmas was coming soon, and Francis wanted to make it very special for the people of Greccio. The little town of Greccio was surrounded by green forests where Francis loved to walk and talk with the birds and the animals. The birds would sit on his shoulder and sing joyfully, and the squirrels would eat from his hand. To Francis, every creature was a special friend. Francis thought of the shepherds who were watching their sheep when the angels sang to them of the newborn baby in Bethlehem, and he had an idea. Francis went to see his friend Giovanni, who lived in Greccio. I have an idea for our Christmas Eve celebration, and I need your help. Then Francis told Giovanni of his plan. Giovanni loved Francis, and he was happy to help with the preparations, but he couldn't help thinking that what Francis wanted was just a little strange. He was not sure what the people of Greccio would think, so he didn't tell anyone what Francis was planning. Late on Christmas Eve, when the stars filled the sky and the air was cold, the people of Greccio walked up the path outside of town to a small cave in the hillside. They carried oil lamps and torches to light the way to where Giovanni had told them to go. The birds who sang with Francis during the day quietly watched the light from their warm nests. They listened to the happy songs and laughter of the people making their way through the woods. When the procession reached the cave, they grew silent in wonder. There in the lamplight were an ox and a donkey peacefully munching hay that covered the dirt floor. A man and a woman sat near the animals and looked with eyes of love into the manger where a baby stretched out two tiny hands. Brother Francis stepped out of the shadows and gently picked up the baby. He smiled at the infant and then at the men, women, and children crowded in the cave entrance. He told them the story of the birth of Jesus, whom he called the child of Bethlehem. Francis reminded everyone of the poor stable where Jesus was born without even a proper bed or blanket. He spoke of the animals that slept in the same straw that filled the manger, which became a crib, and the shepherds who heard the angels and came to see the newborn Messiah. In the dark, cold night with Francis, the townspeople felt like they were visitors at that stable in Bethlehem, watching the animals and Mary and Joseph with the newborn baby. They could feel angels near as they listened to Francis speak, and they sang songs of joy. When it was finally time to go, the farmer and his wife carried their sleeping baby home, and the others followed the family back down the path beneath the sky filled with stars. Giovanni was overcome with love. He should have never doubted his dear friend. Out there in that little cave, Francis had given Greccio an experience of Christmas that would never be forgotten. Why do you think that Francis set up this Christmas celebration the way he did? I think he was trying to show the people what it was like on that night when Jesus was born and when everyone gathered to meet the new baby Jesus. And what a wonderful way to demonstrate that to his townspeople, to set up a live nativity scene like that with a real live baby and real live animals there. That was really special. And do you think the people felt love in their hearts when they went home? I think they did. And where do you think that love came from? I think that love comes from God and from knowing the truth when we hear it. And when people saw that nativity scene there live in front of them, they knew that the story of Jesus' birth was true and they felt it in their heart and they felt the love of God and the love for baby Jesus in their heart. Francis tried to love people the way that Jesus did, but he was still Francis. What would happen if you loved like Jesus did? Would you still be you? Yes, you definitely would still be you. And that's what we're called to do, to love each other the way that Jesus loved everyone. He loved the rich men and the poor men and the beggars and the people that were sick and the people that were healthy. And he loved everyone equally. He loved men and women and children, all with equal love. He didn't judge anybody and he just loved. And that's what we're called to do, to see each other with God's eyes and love each other the way Jesus loved us. And sometimes that's not so easy to do, especially if you meet people that are unkind, people that do mean things. They're not so easy to love, are they? But it's our job to try to love them, to try to see the Christ in them, because all of us, inside of us, we have the Christ. We have that little sparkle of God in all of us. And for some of us, it's harder to see than for others. And sometimes people need more time to develop that side of their life and to let their light shine and to feel love in their heart for their fellow man. So if you meet people that are hard to love, just try to find a way to love them and to know that they are your brother or sister in Christ and that we're all brothers and sisters all over this globe. All of us are brothers and sisters. All of us are children of God. And so that's our job. That's what God has asked us to do, to look for that love in each other, to express love and kindness and compassion every chance we get. And if we can do that, then we are sharing the love of Jesus with everyone that we meet. So at this Christmas time, it's a special time to remember this. And it's easier to remember this during Christmas time because the world is full of light and love and joy and happy songs and beautiful decorations and nativity scenes everywhere and talk about Jesus. So it's a little easier during Christmas season to remember to love each other. And let's try to take that remembrance into the whole year and to love our brothers and sisters all through the year. So Merry Christmas to you all, kids. I'm looking forward to seeing you all soon. I love you very much. Merry Christmas.